Hello, everyone. I'm Joon-Ho Lee, a professor at the Department of Communication and Media at Dongyi University. And this presentation, I want to show the factors or possible independent variables influencing the satisfaction and continuous use of online video services users. Online video service usually called OTT, and some use creative content. We call them as online video service. And this is main research field for the managerial persons or some other steps or some researchers interested in OTT services. And this is the very important core element to understand the industrial structure and their value creating factors in broadcasting industries and companies. These illustrations are the examples of OTT services, and we call it online video service in this article. My paper includes this content of elements. First, abstract. I want to show you the brief part of the abstract and intent of study, and the theoretical basis or reviews about uses and verification approach. It's very the main theoretical basis for understanding users, media users' behaviors. They are positive and very active users. And another theoretical review is about technology acceptance model. This is a long been tradition for tracing or some exploring the new users of new technology or new system for work or life. The other thing I want to show you is research questions. Two main research questions in this article, and the method is described in this presentation, and I will show you the results based on these analysis and some methodological analysis. And the last conclusion is including the new hybrid model for analysis. Then the abstract include this is important to overview outlook for this paper to you. So first of all, you need to look at these things, and then better to start the later parts. This study attempted to find realistic and verified factors influencing on the online video services users' satisfaction and continuous use intention. What affects those characteristics of total users in general? Also, the study reviewed key theoretical frameworks of uses and verification approach. I abbreviate as UGA, and technology acceptance model, TAM. These are two main theoretical bases for my study. the method for analysis is a meta-analysis. Meta-analysis, look at the whole range or some general topics and articles of interest, and to find important findings from each study. And I looked up 35 selected relevant prior studies and extract the main ideas and results from the research. And the result and conclusion include that majority number of studies supported combined and hybrid theoretical assumptions and the causalities of two types of frameworks. Two types means this UGA and TEM. And there are a number of specific and useful variables for measuring the core factors impacting users' satisfaction and actual use of online media. And finally, as a conclusion, I proposed actually not so creative, but I just reorganize or find the new factors or some new relations inside the causality of the frameworks. So that is a hybrid hypothetical model combining two frameworks into one was generated in this study for the future empirical analysis. Yeah, it's better for me to empirically analyze the relationship among the main factors and the user satisfaction and the continuous intention. However, I just to find from theoretical framework, it's kind of a backbone for the architecturing or building new or mature range of research about this topic. So I think it's lucky to find this hypothetical model finally. Then I'll show you, anyway, I'll tell you these things again in later part. And let's move on another next page. It's an intent of study. The evolution of online digital ecosystem surrounding audiovisual media and content has been rapidly changing the media industries and consumption patterns of video content. The new online media make media users more actively consume audiovisual services when and where they want in their favorite ways. They have strong impacts on the entire supply and value chain of TV content creation and distribution, in industrial sense, actually. However, online services are not actually in a stable condition. So, to grasp and maintain constant number of loyal users. So the rate of paying subscribers to each service out of total users was still very low. It's a problem. So it's very important for the industry or company learners in this area to firmly grasp and to retain, to provide retention marketing or some other lure to attract the new users and subscribers. So this study focuses on theoretical overview of online video service users' satisfaction and their intention to continuous use. So two theoretical traditions have tried to provide useful solutions for the research topic. And then let's move on to the next part. It is theoretical review. One, uses and clarification approach. This theory is based on two principles. People are active in the selection of media and they consume and aware of their reason for selecting different media and content. Media technologies and services continuously proliferate. Uses and clarification research is more emphasized than before for understanding people's motivations for choosing media and gratification they gain from them. Four types of dimensions. This is the actual findings about this approach. From this approach, cognitive dimension, for example, news and documentaries, education, how-to videos. They like to acquire information. When doing that, they tend to choose these types of programs or content. Another dimension is affective. That's the same word, similar word to diverge. And stress for stress relief, catharsis, and escapism from reality. And these include the comedies, variety shows, and drama. And the other one is social integrative or personal integrative dimension. This is about promoting one's own image, reputation of status, as well as to interacting with the family and friends. Mostly, normally, and SNS, social network service, provide this function. Nowadays, the development of SNS has made people, select or engaged in more social network services. That also include many diverse services. Some of them are specialized in some aspect of social integrative. Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube, Twitter, something like that. And the last dimension for choosing or selecting media actively by users is opportunistic and cost-effective dimension. It's relating to save time and money, and advertising free content and leisure time content, the free trials. Yes, these are main motivations and some points at which audience a purpose to achieve or to gain their actual satisfaction. Uses based to aggregate the main past findings, and we can draw the framework for uses and gratification approach this way. Gratification sought, gratification gain. In between them, users individual difference can intervene or moderate as the intervening variable. The specific elements are like this. And another theoretical review is about the technology acceptance model. We call it TAM in acronym. So user acceptance of new technologies and services has been a major field of research for over 3 decades, since late 1980s. And when a series of terms began to be proposed by Fred Davis, Davis originally conceptualized this model. And this is actually SOR model. It's a psychological, new psychological the tradition in the 20th century. And so it includes stimulus, organism, and response. That's the truth. These two things can affect the actual use of new system or new technology, new product, new media, new content, or some things like that. And TEM, another stage for the Davis to develop the TEM is this model. It's more specifically, or he input include more intervening moderating variables into into the model that like to clarify the actual use of system. The first thing you should consider is system characteristics. The next thing, attitude toward using that system and actual use. And these are intervening, moderating variables. And the third step, he make it simple by replacing the system characteristics with external variables and behavioral intention and actual use. This is it looks reasonable, but there's no satisfaction between here. So this model has to be complementary by usage and gratification approach. My paper has two research questions. Research question one is, what prove the significant factors of variables that contribute to explaining satisfaction and the continuous use intention of the media users? Is that possible to combine the two theoretical frameworks into one? It is, possible. Possible hypothesis, or I like to combine those two complementary theoretical basis. So in order to solve the question, and I use meta-analysis using academic search engine of Google Scholar, these keywords, and publication, I refined or restricted that period into recent 3 or 4 years. Because since 2017, the new online video services began to South Korea. And such result, look at such a result, 52 results coming out, and among them I selected 35 highly relevant studies. So I looked up carefully, read it through, and extract main findings and main ideas, and the significant causalities and the significant variables used for exploring the satisfaction and continuous use. Yes, these are the main findings, and I just listed them up. Our causal relationships proved to be significant in each study. 84 findings out of 84 findings. These things are most frequent, the result. These are most frequent, and we have to pay attention to these relationships and causalities. And in the same way, there are 128 important variables affecting satisfaction and continuous use of the media and content. There's so many things, and I just put more priorities to the most frequent result about all the variables the most frequently used and proved to be significant in each study. These things I mainly looked at and take them into the account to build a new model for myself. So conclusion includes these things. To make it short, I just focus on the hybrid online video service usage model for analysis. So external variables are necessary, and the motivation to use. You can start from here, but this is more, the prior condition to motivation to use, and you just follow each arrow and up until the satisfaction, and in the middle of model, and then after that continuous use intention and actual continuous use. So these are cognitive. There are so many cognitive affective behavior or attitudinal dimensions, and it looks very complicated, but if you cut this thing and the preconditions for individual or the system itself, then you can make it clear or make simply think that the satisfaction, user satisfaction, is affected by these diverse variables, and it developed to continuous use intention. Without satisfaction, there's no continuous use, and this is real continuous use, the tendency. So I really want prove or testify this dimension of model in real empirical studies. I want end this presentation until now. So thank you for your attention. Bye, everyone.